Like, if somebody makes a song and you want to use it, just ask. I don't know why it's so hard to just like be like, yo, we want to use your song, so hey. Or in like Crystal Asige's case, like, yo, you were there, so we will just pay you. Like, is it so difficult? Why
Apparently
why
it
does
is.
this keep on happening?
Rumba imetamba, sauti soli na dieri ya kumechacha. Karibuni kwenye extravaganza, Benzoli alipofika alifunika. Wakaja na madrama, sinema zetu ni telenovela. Wakasunda mizinga, hawakujua situko mavela. Wakaita polisi, kumbe polisi pia ni shabiki. Wakaficha msosi,
What's up? What's going on, everyone? Hello, hi out there. Welcome to the 30% podcast. This is episode 106. I am Sam, and I'm here with a good man. Just an all-round decent bloke. Afam. FMI.
Yo, what's up?
It didn't sound like...
No, I said what's up.
It didn't sound very blokey. It's supposed to sound like a bloke. What's your favorite? I mean, what's your best UK accent impression?
I can't do one. Please don't put me on the spot. I can't speak like from the UK. I'm so bad at accents, man. Like, don't put me on the spot, Sam.
All right.
Please.
Well, okay. Yeah. So episode 105, we talk about the music industry here.
106.
Look
106.
what I'm doing. I'm time traveling back to 105. Episode 106. And yeah, it's just the both of us, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. The vibes are good. The weather in New York is really now starting to transition more into winter. Aside from that, I cannot complain. I've been chilling. How about you, Bran?
Been chilling. I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Was under
Tell
the
us
weather.
more. What's going on? What's going on in the Sam? Wait, you are under the weather? Oh man, sorry.
Was under the weather this week. Yeah, but apart from that, it's life. Being sick is inevitable. Everyone is going to be sick at some point in their life, so I can't really run away from it. And technically, we're all under the weather. But yes, just been chilling. Medication.
I disagree. We're not technically all. I think we are within the weather. Like, we're inside. Like, it's intertwined. Like, we're not under it. Like, what do you mean? The weather is not the clouds.
No, the weather is like rain and like, okay, for sometimes we're under the weather.
Would you say humidity is weather? Humidity is part of weather, right?
That's actually a good question.
So if we're standing outside, why am I just making an argument for arguments?
You just want to argue for no reason. Oh, there's no argument.
If you're standing outside, if it's a windy day, if it's a windy day, you can't say you're under the wind. Yeah, there's Sam. Yeah, tell us.
I mean, the wind sometimes is above you. Listen, we're
sometimes,
all under the weather,
but
and
sometimes
that's what it is. You don't have time for
Welcome
philosophy.
to the 30% podcast,
Philosophy
where
now.
we talk about semantics and philosophy.
Goodness. Anyway, yeah. Let's get into...
Did you do... Wait, before you get... Did you do anything exciting this week?
No.
Did you make any good music? Oh, okay. Actually, did you listen to anything that inspired you this week?
No. Oh, no. Okay, no. But hold up. So I listened to... Did you listen to Georgia Smith? Do you listen to Georgia Smith much?
From time to time.
From time to time. How... Okay. Could you... How
okay, not often. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest like Georgia Smith like I'm always waiting for her releases. So treat me like a casual. I'm a casual.
Yeah. Well, it's Christmas. Okay, so you know how every single Christmas Mariah Carey charts because she starts because of that song that she did.
All I want for Christmas.
I hate it so much. Oh, and it's getting to that period where too now I'm starting to get agitated because I'm starting to see the pot-bellied Santas out.
What?
Starting to throw what do you call it? We need to see fit Santas.
Christmas
That's what we need.
Make
we
you
need
feel
representation.
Cozy. Sam, Christmas doesn't make you feel all warm
We've
and
been through this
cozy
before.
and like
Go
festive.
back to our episodes around this time last year, and you will know
Oh,
exactly how I
okay.
feel about.
Listen, I thought a year would make you more optimistic about life. I don't know.
Yeah, it's making me exactly the same as I was, if not more solidified in my beliefs and my views.
More solidified in my beliefs. That's the title. That's the title of the podcast. More solidified in my beliefs.
Completely anti Santa and anti decorations and whatnot. Anyway,
What?
Georgia Smith. Georgia Smith last year released this. I actually thought she
Yes.
had released it this year because I don't listen to her music a lot, but I thought she had released it
Okay.
this year. But she released a song called "Stay Another Day" last year, and boy oh boy, it is a fantastic joint. I've been listening to it for like a whole day straight, and then I did something weird. I went and I listened to it's called "Unthinkable" by Alicia Keys. I just like Alicia Keys' former songs, and I realized how different music is today. Like even just the way, because they both can really sing, but the way Georgia does her music and the way she sings and the writing and the way Alicia Keys did it, like back then, I don't know whether it's nostalgia, it probably is, but it just seems like music was a lot more. It was deeper, and then we got rid of bridges. And that's our big problem in R&B today. Is we got rid of bridges, because in this song she does the hook.
We've gotten rid of bridges and third verses.
Yeah, and like intros, man. It's just beat and then song. This one she did the Stay Another Day. She came in, did her verse, did the hook, did have another verse, did the hook, and then did the hook again, and then the song ended. I'm just like, oh man, back then Alicia Keys would have given us like so many different, like a bridge, a little talking thing, played a phone snippet. Like it would have been crazy. But anyway, so I've just been going down that rabbit hole. Shout out to Georgia Smith. She has been the soundtrack for. It's a sad song too. Maybe. I don't know. What have you been listening to?
Sam is listening to sad music. I've been listening to there's this group in New York called For One. And it comprises of Kyle Rich, Tata, and Jen Carter. And like, bro, they were on Playboy Max's stream, and they made a banger called "Save Me" using the "Save Me" sample. Oh my god, I have probably listened to that song like 15 to 20 times just today, and it got me thinking, man. We're in a different era of music now. Like all these streams and stuff, like, is so insane because like it's like everyone is on a stream. SZA was on a stream, Drake was in a stream. These guys literally made the song on a stream, and it got me thinking, like, how do you even mark? Like, if you're the label, right? If let's say you're the label that these three artists are signed to, right? They've literally gone on a stream with Playboy Max, recorded the song, and it's a hit. In my opinion, it's a hit. But everybody has seen the whole recording process and has also listened to the whole song. So how do you market that? Because now, how will you now repackage it and release it on streaming? But we've all had the song already. So it's just like, that's such a conundrum.
The streaming is the new marketing.
I guess.
So now we're doing more pre-marketing before instead of post-marketing.
No, Sam, it's not even marketing anymore, because I think now what we've had on the stream, that's the song. I think the song is out. The song was made and it's out now, like instantly. Because what's the point of them now, like, repackaging it into a thing on Spotify and releasing it that way? Well, they will still do that. They still have to do that. But like, the song is out. We've had the whole thing. It's not a snippet. We've had the whole thing. And then I think what they're gonna do, or what I would do if I was in their position, I would either just release. I would release a video for sure. I'd do a proper video, and then I'd probably have like a collab. I'll do a remix and add like one artist, and then now when we release it on streaming, that's the surprise that there's a special like verse by I don't know, bro. This music landscape, Sam, has changed.
Yep.
Everything is different. Everything is more instant. Everybody wants to be on a stream. Everybody wants to,
it's all
like,
streaming now. Everything is moving towards the streaming world. Actually,
it is.
Yeah.
We're in the streaming era, and not the streaming era like what people always said, like, oh, streams as in Spotify and Apple Music. No, we're in the streaming era as in Kaisanat and Playboy Max and what all these other guys do.
Yeah.
I think that's where the value is. And I wonder who's gonna be the first Kenyan, because I don't see a lot of Kenyan like streamers,
thinking about
but I
this this
just
week.
know there's
I was thinking about
there's
this
gonna be
week,
someone. That's a definite niche that needs to be filled. There's gonna be someone who has a stream, who's gonna start a stream, is gonna be young, and is gonna probably take over. It needs to happen. And if you're listening right now and you think that that's you, do it. I say do it now. Like, do it now. If you do it now, you're gonna pop off 100%.
Do you think people want to sit down and? You think people want to sit down and
Yes,
watch someone
Sam.
live life and just say things and
Sam.
react to us reacting to him, react to us reacting to him or her?
Sam. Kaisanat literally streams himself sleeping.
But that's a different market.
No,
that's the West. What I'm saying is that going to work here?
Yes, I think it could, because the walls have broken down. I feel like what people do all over the world isn't so like, it's not like so far away conceptually. Like, I feel like the Gen Z and the Gen Alpha coming up, like, they're so entrenched in media already. Like, they'll get it. And if somebody is doing it who is closer to home to them, even better, because now they'll even relate with them so much more. And these kids have time. They have time. They're gonna watch hours and hours of these people doing like pointless things. And there might even be somebody who's already streaming who's like 16 somewhere in Kenya, and we just don't know because we're unks. So who knows?
But I'm not an
It might already be happening right now.
Oh, I am an unk. But I mean, I get that. But
No, we are
culture is
no.
different. So-
We are yunks. We are yunks. Yunks is a young uncle.
Oh, man.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yunks. Yunks is hilarious. So I mean, I get your point. I also think that fine, even though the world is breaking down, I think culture still plays into it. And
Yeah.
I don't know if the Kenyan or if the Kenyan culture is streamlined for streaming. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see.
I think
we
it-
can
I-
only
I
te-
think
we can
it
only
could
tell
be.
when it's done. That's the thing.
I say the person who's doing it should do it now. Invest in getting a streaming setup now. That's Sam. That's where the music industry is going. The music industry is going into that direction of like, we want things instantly. We want to react to things instantly. You know what I mean? Why is Drake on a stream with XQC? Why is why are Caesar and Lizzo on a stream with Kaisanat? Benny Blanco was on the stream. Snoop Dogg was on the stream with Kaisanat. So many people, bro, were on. It's because that's where the most attention is right now. It's doing live streams.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
And I don't think we should view our market as like not undeveloped, but like it's like not primed for that yet. I think we're there. I think we could be there. I think maybe people might not get it. Like, I think yes, people might not get it like immediately, but I think it's something to like think about. I don't know if I'm making sense. Am I just rambling? Chat, am I rambling?
Chat.
Anyway,
Chat, can we just talk about stuff, man?
No,
Refer to
actually,
podcast
to be
audience
honest,
as
technically
chat
we've
is
just.
hilarious.
No,
Chat. That's such a streaming thing to do.
am I fried?
You're
Am I
fried.
fried for that, Sam?
Yeah.
Am I cooked? Am I
You're
cooked for
cooked.
this?
What do we got? What do we got today?
Sam.
What do we get into? start
I
with?
guess we've gotten a lot of this. There's so much to talk about. We could start with. Oh my god! Do you wanna? Let's start with Soul Gen.
Yeah, Soul Generation and Crystal Asige have been. I mean, they've kind of been in the news for the past couple of years, 2 years, I want to say, maybe more. But recently, of course, she was in court. So, what clips of her testimony I don't know what it is. Is it called a testimony? Clips of her speaking in court came out, and so it's
She was testifying.
testifying. Came out. So she was bringing. It was back in the news cycles. Essentially, so Crystal Asige, if you do not know her, was one of the early signees to Soul Generation. So Soul Generation, when they popped out with it was the two boys, Nviri and Benso. I think I don't know if Kaskazini was there originally, and then Crystal was also there. They were all featured on Sauti Souls or Soul Generations, whichever way you want to slice it. Extravaganza. The song that Afam refuses to sing every.
You always, Sam. You always take the opportunity to sing that song. Like, I think you honestly, somebody should do a counter. You've probably sung that song in 6 different podcasts.
It's an interesting. I listened to that song today,
cool,
and it sounded different
Yeah.
to me. I don't know why. Anyway, so back to Crystal. Crystal is in the news for. I mean, she's had. They had a falling out, I guess. Well, not a falling out per se, but then things didn't go positively, and she left Soul Generation. And so she was just in the case. In court, she was just talking about some of the things that caused that leaving. And that was interesting. It was interesting seeing sort of that develop. We don't really think about artists when we say artists signed to labels. We don't really think about what's going on behind closed doors, but a lot of stuff happens. So she claims Soul Generation was they were trying to discuss a 360 deal with her, and she sought legal advice, and she thought that was a little bit exploitative. So that was part of her complaint. I'm just going to go through some of the things that she claimed, some of her complaints. Soul Generation claimed to let her go because they didn't think number one, and here I'll kind of be on their side. No, I won't be on the side. I would play the devil's advocate here, because they said that they didn't have the resources to manage her, and essentially they had too much on their hands now, which is interesting. Now, I think my personal view is I think Soul Generation should have started out with fewer artists and then brought more people on the plate. I think when they started with too much, and they were just trying to figure out the blueprint as to what they did. So they kind of started from the back and then lessened their roster as they moved forward, and then now they don't have much of a roster except for what they're doing with the newer acts that they're trying to get. So yeah, so that was part of it, so that they didn't have enough resources to take care of her or push her forward. She said that her disability was, this was kind of sad, if it's true, her disability was used as part of their PR strategy and marketing. Like she has had, she's talked about her blindness and all that business. So like if that's true, that's kind of crazy. And just a bunch of other things, a bunch of legal things. Oh, she also
so she's saying, is she saying that they used that as like a marketing tool? Like,
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we don't know how, and of course now all of this. I'm just going to say all of this is alleged because some of this are not. They have not been supported with like evidence. So we're just taking her word. We're just saying what she said. And then the major ones is she claimed two things. One, she claimed that she hasn't received much of her royalties from the work she did there. That's number one. Number two, she said she hasn't been paid for some of the work she did on there. And then she also claimed that Sauti Soul and KLM, that's the airline brand, did not Sauti Soul, sorry, Soul Generation, got into like a deal, and they used a song that she had worked on, and she got no compensation which we have kind of seen a lot recently, right? So yeah, those are the claims, man. That's what she gave us. Afam, take it away.
Bro, it's so obviously everything is alleged because this is ongoing.
Of course, yeah.
But ultimately it's disappointing, if it's true, because like, I mean, at the end of the day, as an artist, you want to be compensated for your art, whether you are in the room and you are writing together and you contributed a few lines in the writing process, you deserve your percentage. And I think she does say that she got writing credits on a
Yeah.
lot of these songs, but wasn't paid for them.
I mean, credits is cool.
The thing that's worrying is her experience is not unique at all. And that's worrying because, like, this happens a lot of times. And I think the biggest problem we have in our industry is that, and I've realized this, like, you'll sign paperwork. Like, people actually sign paperwork in our industry. People will do
Yeah.
split sheets. People will you'll agree on royalties, and you'll go through a legal route to do so. But there's very, very, very little implementation of the things that are signed. Like, you could sign today. Let's say you have a song with the biggest artist in the country, and you decide, you know what, because I produced this and I contributed songwriting credits, we'll do 50-50. You could actually sign that, sign a thing, sign the splits. But when it comes to actually them collecting the royalties and everything, you can't monitor what they're collecting because maybe they don't even give you they don't give you the back end. So you can't see what's being collected. You don't know if they've even been collecting that stuff. And then the implementation is so poor as well, Also because our collection CMOs and all that type of stuff are also really trash. So then it's hard. It's a stupid like industry where things are signed but not implemented, and that sucks. Like, also giving somebody like their writing credits, right? I think it's improving, but that's just a credit. And that's the thing that a lot of people hide behind. They'll be like, "Yo, see, we credited you. Your name is there, fine, but did you pay me as well?" Yes, I'm grateful that you've credited me, but like, have you also acknowledged my contribution to this work of art by paying me? So I think our legal system needs to be a little bit more strict with these things.
Yeah, and I think
people have agreements.
Yeah. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, actually, I think that's my point. That's my point. Yeah.
Well, I feel like people aren't afraid of, because I mean, if you have a contract with someone, and you decide you're going to go against that contract, I feel like you should be scared of that at some point. I feel like people aren't scared because there hasn't been a lot of there hasn't been a lot of repercussions for people who have I feel like a lot of people have, and not just I've heard a lot of people have just gotten away with it. Like, they pay someone off or do something and then they just slime their way out of it, and there's not much legal repercussions for going against contracts. So that's kind of what I mean. A label like an established label like Soul Generation should have their legalities like down, right? And I'm pretty sure they have and we've not had their side. So and we're probably going to hear it in the upcoming days, weeks, months, or whatever. But yeah, they should have their side, their legals down, because when you're dealing with artists at that stage, it's important to avoid all of the drama, but drama is inevitable in the music industry because music is drama and it's art, and somehow that works. So anyway, that's that. I guess this case has been on for a minute. It's been on, I think, since like 2022. Court cases take a minute, bro. Like, they take a while. So we're going to keep seeing this until we get to the final end. But hey, I'm always on the side of the artist. Most times I'm on the side of the artist. I like to see artists work and artwork,
Yeah, and also, I mean, if they were also leveraging her disability as a marketing opportunity, that's
crazy.
That's really not good.
That's crazy.
That's not good at all. Because what I'm reading is that she says they kind of use that as, we're the only label who's pushing.
That's borderline. That's disgusting, man. Like, if they're using that, that's gross.
Good.
And then after that, to just dump her the way she did, because she had mentioned, she had indicated that the way they let her go was not like the best way.
Well, so, she says So she says apparently she got summoned to BN's. I don't know if she was summoned to a meeting with BN.
Yeah.
And he told her that she's the, and I quote, BN cited that I was the weakest of the acts in terms of performing, recording, and basically in all aspects of being an artist. But at the same time, he said I was amazing at songwriting. So she says she got very many mixed signals by that dismissal.
Yeah. I mean, like we said,
that sucks.
We're just getting one side. So
yeah.
I'm sure we'll hear
we'll
the
see
other
how
side.
It plays out, and I hope all parties can come to an amicable.
I want the party that's doing well, that did the right thing, to come to the most amicable. The party who didn't do the right thing or is going crazy. I don't necessarily wish an amicable. I don't wish that.
Okay, yeah. Well, I agree with what you've just said, Sam. Yes, yes. Speaking of more legal issues, so there's an update with what happened with Foi and her Oppo deal. So we reported on the whole situation where they used Mutoriah's song "Better," and this was without his consent. Nobody told him, and boom, he just wakes up, sees the ad there on Instagram, raised an alarm. They took it down, and he's like, "Okay, fine, you all took it down, but I'm still."
I'm gonna need my check. I'm gonna need some money.
Still gonna need, because you're so the update that I'm seeing is that apparently or allegedly, sorry, Foi Wambui was paid 600,000 for an endorsement deal with Oppo. So the way I read this, so I don't know how much money was spent, because apparently this deal came through a talent agency or an agency called Affluence. So I don't know how much Oppo actually paid Affluence. So that's not being said. So, most likely, Oppo pays Affluence or iFluence. I don't know how to pronounce it. And iFluence then pays Foi a percentage of what they got paid. So we don't know how much was actually paid. I think the crux of the issue here is that yes, Foi was paid to be a brand ambassador for Oppo.
Yeah.
And who knows what was in that deal or how many pieces of content she had to make, or was it a time-based contract? Who knows? Maybe they told her you have to do 20 different ads or ad opportunities for Oppo, or maybe she said maybe the deal was like you'll be an Oppo brand ambassador for 2 years. I don't know the details. Either way, what needs to be figured out is, well, what percentage of this deal would account for the ad that they specifically did using Mutoriah's music, and how much he needs to be paid from that. So I guess knowing a figure or having this figure that's floating around, which, by the way, this is all alleged, because I don't even know where. Because I'm not sure where the exact figure comes from. That's just the figure that's been floating around in the media. But it gives an indication in terms of value and how much. It can help with the calculation of who deserves what and how much. So, yeah, Sam, what do you think about this whole situation so far?
Yeah, I mean, so the big problem here, the whole reason we're talking about this is them using the song on the ad, right? Now, this is something I think that people don't do
on her Instagram.
Yeah, is when an influencer takes uses another piece of art in whatever they're doing. And that's the thing. We need laws for that too. That's some of the things we complain about. We need some updating of laws, so that some of these things can be covered in the things that we can enforce in terms of law. But anyways, so the problem is a lot of them don't calculate what the song is worth to the ad. And then, because essentially that's what you'd be paying for, right? If you're paying the artist, like what Mutoriah would get is, okay, use my song. All right, so Mutoriah would then say, okay, how much of my song is worth the whole ad? And then whatever percentages or whatever happens, that's where you get that from. So that's something that needs to be done a lot more. People just be paying influencers and just give them the money, and then like you do whatever you want with it, and that's just messy. I don't know if that makes sense. It's just a messy way to go
It
about it.
does.
Yeah.
It does. Listen, Sam, ultimately, but let's pay people what they are owed. Like, come
Yeah.
on. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, if somebody makes a song and you want to use it, just ask. I don't know why it's so hard to just like be like, yo, we want to use your song, so hey. Or in like Crystal Asige's case, like, yo, you were there, so we will just pay you. Like, is it so difficult? Why
Apparently it
does
is.
this keep on happening? Yeah, apparently it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
But
these are all.
Sorry, just
Sorry,
to
go
round
ahead.
that up. It's things like that I think we really need to figure out and properly calculate how to compensate people in art, in all types of art, dancing, film, all of that. Like, we need to properly figure out how to compensate a lot different people in their different roles. Yeah, it's very necessary.
Well said. I couldn't have said it better myself.
You could. I'm sure you could.
No, I
You're
couldn't.
a very eloquent
Sam,
gentleman.
come on. No. Anyway, what the fuck are we saying? I wanted to talk about this. So I saw an article about Lupita Nyong'o. So she has or as the Americans would say, Lupita Nyong'o. So she has a podcast in partnership with Warner, and it's called Mind Your Own. And it looks like it's more about like her experience as a creative or as an African in the diaspora. And just reading here, it says the podcast is set to feature vibrant sounds of Warner Music Africa's artists with insightful conversations that explore the personal narratives of African identity from the perspective of Africans in the diaspora. And it's pretty cool. I haven't listened to it like in depth. It's one of those podcasts that's very like it's very produced, and it's mostly just her speaking, and like there's music in the background, and it's it's one of those vibey things that you listen to. And I like that I think there's one episode that has Nyokabi Kariuki, Mr. Lou's production on there, and that's really nice. It's a nice thing that she's also like relied on like Kenyan artists to essentially be part of the soundtrack, and I think it's responsible. I think people who have platforms like they do, like Lupita has, yo, bring us all together, like bring us up all together. What? Bring us. Did you hear what I said? I said bring us up all together. What English? What am I doing, Sam? Anyway, Sam,
English is not
how
your
do you
first
feel
language.
about this?
It's fine.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. What do you?
Yeah, this is cool. Mixed feelings, right? Because someone at the stage she is could do so much good for the Kenyan art industry, but I know a lot of people up there would not want to have all that responsibility on them. And it's because we automatically, she has this platform now. Okay, now you have to play Kenyan music. You have to put people on. You have to put people onto your culture. And her, she's like, fam, I just want to tell stories, and I might not necessarily want to tell it through the lens that you want me to tell it. So I get that there's two sides to that, but this is a very cool opportunity for her to highlight her culture and put like you said, put some people on, but also I think culture is the main thing that we should be exporting. So this would be a really good avenue for her to do that. Again, how many episodes is she releasing again?
I think it's like 10 episodes or something.
10
of
episodes,
the
and they've
sort.
already been
It's a
released.
yeah. Yeah, they've all been released, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, this is cool. I mean, this is cool. I'd like to see it, man. I haven't listened to it, so I can't really critique the podcast itself. But I think the idea is really
But Sam,
is interesting.
you bring up a great point. I feel like this is a point that's been had, or conversation that's been had when you create a platform, right?
Yeah.
And you're the one who created your own platform. You worked hard on it. It's on it by yourself. Like, do you have an obligation to now use that platform for good, right? As opposed to it just benefiting you yourself. Like that's the question.
Yeah.
I think that's the question because, like, I mean, she could just do her podcast and
talk about
not
her journey
necessarily
in the West and everything.
have to put us on.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's important that once you have a platform, that you use it to kind of bring everyone else with you. Not everyone, but like. You get what I'm trying to say.
I get what you're saying. I mean, so I don't think everyone has that burden, has to have that burden on them. I do think that when they're outliers, like I really think Lupita is an outlier because she's just been really, really successful in the industry, and she has achieved things that have put the spotlight on Kenya, right? And so it's not just Kenyans who are putting it on her, who are putting that responsibility on her. It sort of just comes with the territory. And some people can handle that better. It also depends on their personality and how, like, some people just don't want to carry all of this. Like, it's just a lot of stress, anxiety, because it comes with a lot. It comes with anxiety. It comes with, for her, it could be art. With
great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah. For it could be art. Some people, it gets into like a political realm where you have to speak on, the negatives and the positives and all that, and that just becomes like very difficult to deal with. So it's individual to the individual. it's an individual thing. But then I do hope that whoever has a platform, if they can, they should definitely not use it to like degrade or speak negatively about their culture. But if there is nothing, some people just be rude and mean, and when they've left the normies and they've been successful, they just stop being relatable, and that now becomes weird. So I hope she does. The podcast is called Mind Your Own. I hope she minds all ours.
I hope she minds our own. That was really well put, Sam. Okay, so bro, let's talk about new music. Sam, what was tingling your ear hairs this week?
We could start with an album or start with singles. Let's start with an album because I didn't see too many albums out there.
Oh, let's start with an album. This was divisive on the internet. If you're talking about the album, I think you're talking about.
Yeah, Vibes and Vocals with a K. Wanavokali. All 6 of them decided to drop a project on our head tops. Project called Vibes and Vocals.
On your head top.
Yeah, man. They've had a couple of hits recently. Roomba did really well. A couple of different ones did really well. So it's good to see them work up a project and put that out. Did you listen to their offering?
I did. Yes, I did. I actually listened to the whole project.
Nice.
And
why do you sound like you want to be congratulated? Good job. You listened to some music.
I do sound like I want to be congratulated.
Congratulations.
Which is bad. I did like the song Wine Selector with Iyani. That one was really nice. That was my favorite of the album. So I think there has been some conversation online. The album has been received. It's had very mixed signals. A lot of people have actually said that they were a little bit underwhelmed by the album. And I would have to agree. Unfortunately, I would have to agree. I think the production, and by production I mean in general, like even with the vocal production, could have been a little bit stronger. I mean, I see, like, the thing is, you can see flashes of brilliance when you listen to this album. Like, you can see that these guys are actually good at what they do. Like, genuinely, you can listen to it and see, yeah, these guys are really compelling to listen to. But it just falls short a little bit. As a listener, you can hear certain parts and you're like, I don't know. Like, one part I was cringing a little bit was like the song I Wonder, where it had like they're trying to go with like an urban tone-esque vibe. And I think it's produced by Motif de Don.
Yep.
And it was just a little bit, it didn't come out as supremely authentic to me anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just was a little bit, it was a bit of a hard listen, specifically that song. And then in general, the production could have just been a little bit higher. I feel like it just felt a little bit rushed, and I wish they would have taken. But here's the thing, bro. I know how music goes, you know, so I'm in the music industry myself, so I don't know how the production process went, but maybe they could have taken a little bit more time.
We can't really talk about people's production process, but we can talk about the final product, right? Which is what we're doing.
The final product, yeah. Maybe they could have taken a little bit more time, gotten a few more like objective opinions and stuff like that. How do you feel about focus grouping your music before you release it, Sam?
This is what okay, so I'll get to focus grouping, but then it's something I keep saying, and I'm a broken record at this point, is, man, we need what do you call them? Creative directors. We need like a final line of defense. For people's art, especially music, like someone who you can take you, and someone who's objective, right? Someone, and part of that is is focus grouping, where you just bring a bunch of people and sit them down, and hey, here's the project we have. What do you guys think? Now, the problem with that is a lot of people do that when the project is already done and they've finished everything. They know what the rollout is going to be. The focus group ends up being part of the rollout rather than being part of the process of making the album. So I like focus grouping. Some artists don't want to expose themselves like that.
But Sam, so listen, here's the thing though, like, focus grouping is so important because you can't go around thinking, and now I'm off Wanavokali's project. I'm just talking about in general, right? Like, you can't go around thinking your music is the shit 100% of the time, like you're Kanye West or something, you know? Like, sometimes you have to seek other opinions. But then again, sometimes all the noise around you might also distract you from your main goal. So it's a hard one because sometimes you might also, you know, it's like, so maybe you just need like a fine line, like a fine. Because also the problem with only asking like the people who you're close to, right, is sometimes you can't 100% trust their opinions because sometimes they may tell you what you want to hear, you know, which is unfortunate.
So avoiding that is, I think it's more beneficial not to get people who are necessarily on your side, but get people whose opinions you trust and who have a track record of delivering quality in some way, right? Who have some sort of like reputation. That's the way you get around that is, okay, so have a couple of people in there who are going to make you feel good about the music, but also have people in there who have a stake in art itself and wanting to see art be good. And then, of course, if you have a good relationship with them. Even if you don't, man, hey, having critics has created some of the best restaurants. It has created some of the best music. It's created some of the best, like, even just like jobs and things like that. Like, it's good to have opposing voices, but voices that are opposing because they have they are invested in what you're trying to create, what you're trying to bring forward. So, yeah, man, we need that, man. We need to play our music for people. I do that. Like, when I have something I want to release, I just gather a bunch of random guys and send them a link.
Same.
I'm like, what do y'all think?
Same.
You know,
I'd be sending links for days and just like trying to get the opinion.
Yeah.
But as an artist, it hurts when
that comes back and it's like, nah.
And
yeah, man. But I'd rather get that from two people than get that from the world.
That's also true. that's also true. So it's a tough one. Well, shout out to Wanavokali though, for their release. It takes a lot to release an album. Yeah.
It's a talented bunch, so it's not like we just feel like maybe they could have brought a little bit more forward, maybe done a little bit more with the project. But hey, it's going to play, and shout out to them. And it's always, as an artist, I mean, it's always good releasing music. So
what else did you listen to?
Yeah, I went down to Umoja Sounds, and they and Mbithi offered up I Dare You.
One Sounds.
Yeah. They offered up I Dare You. That was interesting. They're doing a lot with Mbithi now, which is cool. Let me see who else. Who else did I pay attention to, man? DJ Prod Luigi. His name is so interesting. I feel like just calling him Luigi, but I feel like that would be disrespectful. And Agent 45 released Marangapi. I feel like Afamute love that joint. That sounds like the kind of thing you'd be bopping.
I liked it. It was a cool listen.
Yeah, so that was I listened to that. I listened to a song that I sort of enjoyed was Sabiwu with Thicker Road Rhythm. That was interesting. Sabiwu.
Oh man, I missed that.
Yeah,
I need to listen. I haven't listened to that. No.
Sabiwu is he sounds like he's growing into his art, into his artistry, and just with his vocals and everything. Like it's pretty decent. So I like what he's doing, man. I like that he sounds like he's working on it. So shout out to him. And then I think the last one I'd highlight is Luo is a Lifestyle by Quiz. I'm always highlighting Quiz's music. But yeah, Luo is a Lifestyle. That was again a strap. I think it was produced by Luigi too. So yeah, that was it. I didn't do a lot this week. Oh, I don't know if we should talk about
so
it.
You're just leaving. Okay.
I talked about so
it's fine. No, it's fine.
No.
I will go through.
See, I've already talked about it, so we can't do the corny thing of we just bring it up and then skip over it. So
no,
Mr. Jones, right? He's been missing in action.
Oh, man.
No, hey, I'm going to talk about it.
Bro.
I feel feelings about this, so I'll talk about it. Mr. Jones released.
You feel feelings.
Yeah. I feel feelings. So Calligraph Jones,
Why?
Calligraph
Why
Jones,
did he? Why? Why?
Who is a Kenyan rapper? If you guys don't know, he's a Kenyan rapper, known for such hits as he's known for a lot of hits, and just a lot of things that he's been doing. He has the cypher thing going on. He talked about the past few months. He's been talking about just taking a break and then coming back into the industry. So he came back with a song called "The Mark Is Back." Now, I don't have anything against the artists on this song. I just didn't think that this was this was a direction to go. But that's just me. That's my personal opinion. He used a song. If you guys know, I think his name is Mark Morrison, who did the original song called "Return of the Mac." And I mean, it's a classic song, man. It goes crazy.
Legendary song.
I listened to that song till date. So what they did essentially is just it sounds like they just rapped over that beat and did everything. They released a video. It was him and Bridget Blue. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have anything to say about it. I just don't know. That move is just kind of confusing to me because it's not like an original idea, not an original song. Of course, he rapped on it and they did like a hook and stuff. But I don't know. I don't have anything to say. I just brought it up to say I don't know.
It wasn't for me either. But listen, I'm sure somebody out there enjoyed Calligraphs.
That's crazy. Let's just move on. Let's move on because No. I mean, Calligraph has produced, and a lot of people like the stuff he's done. So this particular song, I guess, just didn't hit for me in terms of the idea they were going for.
It wasn't for me either. Yeah. Okay. So there was Natakatoa by Blinky Bill. It was a good listen as well. What else came out? Gongewa by Saru and Furthermore, which by the way is going. I feel like it's coming under a lot of criticism. Some people as well are also underwhelmed. I watched the video. To be honest, I don't know. I didn't mind it so much. For me, I didn't actually mind this song.
Yeah, that was not. I've heard
some
Furthermore
people
do better.
think
I think
doesn't hit.
both of them.
I personally didn't mind it. but that's just me. I guess I'm in the minority. I don't know. There was Game Ni 90 by Mandy I listened to as well. Hey Cinderella by Caleb Awiti. Love the artwork. So Caleb Awiti stays releasing music consistently. So shout out to bro. What else did I listen to? Oh yeah, Iken released a song with Nyla. It's called Free Fall. So y'all make sure to check that one out as well. It's on some Iken vibes as usual. Very, what's the word I would say? Dreamy. His vibe is always dreamy. Did I listen to anything else? Stay Active by Blocker Beats, Prince, and Muro came out. And yeah, I think the song that stood out to me the most this week though was, I would have to say it was Nyumbani by
her first
Njerae.
release post signing.
I think this is the first. Yeah, this is the first song like now properly that she's releasing with Universal. I liked it. How did you receive it?
It was cool. It was okay. Let me speak my mind. So I think, of course, it sounds like they're playing into the Amapiano vibe, like the pop Amapiano vibe, like the Tyler, that stuff that's really doing well. So I don't blame them for that. I don't know if okay. So my honest feelings is I feel like Njerae, because she's coming from a different genre which she's been doing for a while. So her stepping into this, maybe in the next few songs, we'll see her like properly, acclimate herself to the sound and the grooves and that's the topics for this. But then, and sort of put herself into the art now and be properly. But this was a good one. Njerae is very talented, so she made it sound good. I just feel like maybe this was not her 100%. She was not 100% comfortable with exactly what she was trying to do here, but that's just me, and I could be wrong again because we've listened to a lot of music.
I don't know. For me personally, I like it.
I'm not saying I don't like it. I like it, and I enjoyed it. And again, it was my favorite song of the week.
Sorry.
So that's cool, and that's aside. I'm just saying in terms of like her and what they're trying to do. Of course, again, this is, man, who am I? I'm just talking, bro. But,
yeah. I mean, of course, there's gonna be more like cooks in the kitchen per se, because now she's with Universal, so there's gonna be a lot of like, this is the song you should drop first, and this is the vibe that you should go on, and blah blah blah. But I think for me, I still felt like it was authentic to Njerae and what we've come to expect from her. So I don't know. I think she felt comfortable. I like the visual thing they did, the visualizer. I see what they're doing, man. They're doing the Universal tactic, the Maven Records tactic of like, oh, let's first do a visualizer and then see how that goes, pump some money into it, and then if it does well, they're probably gonna do a video, breathe new life into the song by doing a proper video. And then if it still goes crazy, then they'll probably center that song as the centerpiece of the album, which I don't know would probably come out next year. But I like it. I think it's a good offering. And shout out to Njerae. It's exciting. Let's see where she lands.
She always brings it up. When I say that, I don't think she's coming. I just feel like she's getting into the system. Like she's, and as she goes on, like the more she releases now, we'll like see her bloom in this new field. So shout out to her, man. She's talented, so that's not what I'm trying to say. She's a really good writer, so shout out to her, man. So I guess we play that.
All right, so you guys are about to listen to the amazingly smooth and inspired sounds of Njerae on the song Nyumbani.
Wakati umefika, sita, niko tayari, kuja situe habari. Kile una do, they want to know about you. How you play those games you play, still I love you the same. Kipenzi, I'm not pretending, I know it's been you're the one I left my heart with. Ay baby, twende nyumbani, ukinipa nafasi nitaita wazazi waje tuwe na party ya day. Baby, twende nyumbani, 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 nyumbani. Let's not waste no time. I already know your mind. And if you decide, we can go away tonight. Tuende awe mina wewe, oivu wameze mate, ashapata wakesi. Twende nyumbani, ukinipa nafasi, I will tell everybody you're the one I left my heart with. Ay baby, twende nyumbani, ukinipa nafasi nitaita wazazi waje tuwe na party ya day. Baby, twende nyumbani, 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 nyumbani. Say baby, twende nyumbani, 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 nyumbani.
That was Nyumbani by the very talented Njerae. Yo, Sam. That was episode 106 and Park. I had to say that. Sorry. There was no way we were going through episode 106 without me being corny. Just guys, I need you guys to understand
can we wrap this episode up?
that
You're not
my
going to
nature,
start defending
it's
your corniness. Let's just wrap this up.
It's in my DNA to be corny. And if you guys haven't figured that out by now, I don't know how to help you. But yes, 106 episodes down the can. And as you guys all know, or if you're new to this podcast, I like to end the podcast with the 3 C's, which I guess I've kind of made into like a mantra that I'm also trying to follow, because I realize I fall short of these 3 C's a lot. So you and I, by you I mean the listener, like we are all trying to like be better, especially in this creative space. And so the 3 C's are confidence. We need to be confident in our art, because if you aren't confident in your art, people will not be confident in it either, and nobody will want to consume it. So you need to be confident in what you're putting out. Number 2, consistency. You need to be consistent in how you're approaching creating the art, as well as how you're approaching releasing the art. And sometimes I find myself going a week without making beats, and I'm like, how are you gonna be better if you're not consistent with making music, so you have to try and do these things even if you don't feel inspired at all. I feel like you can't chase inspiration as a creative. You have to like force yourself to make things even if you have zero inspiration. So be consistent. And lastly, craft. Always strive to improve every day. Try and watch something small that teaches you a new way to approach their music, or a new way to roll out the music and market it. And in that, the gains will be small, but in a year, you'll be a totally different person than you are. So always focus on your craft. And Sam, there's something, man. Well, I wanted to talk about this in the intro of the podcast, but I forgot. But I've stumbled upon this thing called unconditional creativity. And it's something that I want to implement into my own life. Because I feel like my music of late has been lacking in a certain je ne sais quoi. Because I always approach music like, oh, let me make beats for so and so. Let me make beats for this and the other. And when you do that, you place a certain expectation on the music, and you're always gonna fall short of it, or you're not really necessarily going to like achieve what you set out to do. And I'm trying to be more unconditional with my creativity, which is just making things like, and there's something I struggle with. I don't just sit down and say, today I'm going to make the best beat I can ever make that'll just inspire just for me, just because I want to make this beautiful thing and I'm just going to do it. I need to do more of that. Do you do that a lot? Like, do you just make stuff to be like, I want to make something that Sam will like? Only Sam. I don't care if I don't send this out to anyone. I'm just making this because I want to and I love. I love it.
I live on that side. I rarely sit down and say. It's only when I'm like working specifically with like artists and they've said, okay, I want this specific sound or whatever it is. But when I'm creating, I mostly just create for me, and I create how I enjoy music. Like I could start with and it doesn't even work. Like my brain doesn't work that way because there's so many times I've started, okay, I'm about to make a trap beat, and then EDM comes out of it, or it turns into amapiano somehow. So I live on that side. Just in short, like I've and now I need to learn how to sit down and actually create for.
I'm trying to be like you. I'm trying to be like you, Sam, because this other side is not great. Trust me. Like it's like you're always just like, oh, let me try and make beats like that could appeal to Chloe Bailey or something like that. And it's like it's hard because you all like I have such a okay. I feel like I have personally like I have a palette for music, right? And so when I try and make music to replicate what other people are doing who I think are really great, and I fall short of it, it really affects me as a creative, like mentally. Like, you just be hard on yourself and you're like, damn, I didn't achieve what I set out to do.
Lower your expectations.
And I don't like that
of yourself, or have none.
Unconditional creation. That's one big thing I'm
nice.
trying to do in my life. Anyway, yeah.
That's cool, man. So yeah, hey, that's actually a really good way to put it. Unconditional creativity, unconditional creation.
Exactly.
But yeah, man. Hey, that was the episode.
Okay, well,
I was about to think about it now.
That's the end of the podcast.
Thinking about it now, I get to my existential dread. But yeah, no. Shout out to every single person listening. Share this with someone who you think would benefit from the conversation. If you agree with us, let us know. If you don't agree with us, let us know as well. And we will see you guys in the next episode.
Peace.